So I will call to order the meeting of the Chautauqua County Legislature on April 22nd of 2026. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony. Here. Mr. Binkowski.
Here.
Mr. Buchanan.
Here.
Mr. DeJoy.
Here.
Mrs. Gustafson. Here. Mr. Harmon.
Here.
Mr. Heiser.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Larson.
Here.
Miss Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
Here.
Mr. Pavlak is absent. Mr. Penhallow.
Here.
Mr. Proctor.
Here.
Mr. Scudder.
Here.
Miss Vanstrom.
Here.
Mr. Whitney.
Here.
Chairman Shagnon.
Here.
Okay, there are 18 members present and 1 member absent. There is quorum.
And we will now have the prayer and pledge of allegiance by Legislator Merritt.
Father, we come to you this evening, ask for strength and wisdom for this legislative body as we attempt to perform the tasks that we were elected by the residents of Chautauqua County to do. I also come to you this evening and ask for guidance and wisdom that we can have on our home front as well as abroad to hopefully bring an end to conflicts around the world and end divisiveness as we know. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that brings us to approval of the minutes of our last meeting on March 25th of 2026. We have a motion to approve by Legislator Binkowski and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are carried. And we now have time reserved on our agenda for the first privilege of the floor. Members of the public may comment on any subject relating to any local law, resolution, or motion appearing on tonight's agenda. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes, and comments representing a group shall be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to address the first privilege of the floor? Anyone for the first privilege of the floor? Seeing no one, I will close the first privilege of the floor. And now we have the honor of having the State of the County address streamed to us. Was presented by County Executive Paul M. Wendell Jr., and it was recorded, and now we'll have an opportunity to view the recording.
Good evening, Chairman Shagnon, members of the Legislature, Chautauqua County residents, and guests. Welcome to the 2026 Chautauqua County State of the County Address. I am unable to be with you this evening, and this is a pre-recorded video of the State of the County Address. This evening I will be attending a Town of Dunkirk meeting where we'll be discussing the GRI project, and as you've heard, the large possible consolidation of municipalities in North County. So please sit back and enjoy. There's a lot of great information and excitement to share with you in the 2026 State of the County Address. Hello and welcome to the 2026 Chautauqua County State of the County Address. It is a privilege to stand before you and deliver a message of strength, resilience, and accomplishments of our county. As county executive, I am deeply committed to working alongside our residents, businesses, and community partners to seize new opportunities for Chautauqua County. Over the past year, we have made real, measurable progress. And today, I will highlight what we have accomplished and lay out a clear vision for building a stronger, more prosperous future. As Chautauqua County continues to grow, the momentum that we have built together is creating opportunities. Under my leadership, we remain focused on what matters most: maintaining financial stability, driving economic development, improving infrastructure, promoting sustainable growth, and enhancing efficiency and responsiveness in county government. That commitment has allowed us to enhance services we provide, delivering greater value while carefully managing rising costs. Our shared goal is to build a county that is both stable today and positioned for lasting success in the future. In Chautauqua County, the economy is not just improving, it is getting stronger. I will highlight the progress we have made and lay out our ambitious plan for the future that includes strategic investments in our infrastructure, meaningful support for our local businesses, and increased commitment to strengthening our housing stock and ambitiously grow our tourism industry. It is clear that investing in our local infrastructure is crucial to the economic growth of Chautauqua County. These projects are not isolated. They are part of a comprehensive strategy to strengthen our economy, support our communities, and to achieve long-term success. Our continued investment in shovel-ready sites at the Mason Industrial Park and the I-90 Veterans Memorial Commerce Park are essential to attracting new businesses. This year, the CCIDA secured Fast New York grant funding for pre-development work at the long-vacant 657-acre Eagle Bay site in the town of Sheridan. This potential industrial park could become the largest shovel-ready site in the state of New York. With marketing already underway and the Mason and Ripley sites nearing completion, our capacity to draw new development will only continue to grow. We are also making substantial investments in our transportation network. This year, we will treat and maintain more than 660 miles of county roads, complete 6 culvert and bridge rehabilitation projects, undertake 2 bridge replacements and 2 culvert replacements. In total, we will be spending more than $13 million to invest in our county roadways. We have also prioritized investing in expansion of high-speed broadband. In 2025, Chautauqua County received an allocation over $29 million in Connect All BEAD grant funding, which is anticipated to bring high-speed broadband to more than 3,500 new locations across Chautauqua County. Additionally, DF2 Communications is making significant progress in their broadband expansion project that was funded through county ARPA funding and private investment made by DFT themselves. The project supports fiber development to a further 385 addresses in Dunkirk and Sheridan. In addition, the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer District's West Side Sewer Extension Phase 2 project is nearing completion. Early this year, we announced that funding has been secured for Phase 3. This is the final phase of a decades-long effort to complete public sewer around Chautauqua Lake. This final phase will extend infrastructure from Point Chautauqua to Midway State Park, closing the last gap and fully connecting the lake's north and south basins with municipal sewer. This is a historic milestone and one that will improve water quality, strengthen property values, support economic development, and protect the long-term health of our lake communities. When complete, this project will stand as a generational investment in infrastructure and lasting environmental stewardship for one of our most cherished treasures, Chautauqua Lake. In 2025, the CCIDA board approved or assisted in 9 projects that will generate more than $84.7 million in new investment. These investments are projected to create 639 jobs and retain an additional 243 positions here in Chautauqua County. The work the CCIDA undertook in 2025 has carried over into 2026, and they have already secured more investment this year than all of last year. Over the past 5 years, CCIDA-supported projects have created 3,975 permanent and temporary jobs and helped retain an additional 5,854 existing positions. In total, 9,829 jobs countywide have been created and saved during that same period. During the same period, the CCIDA has played a central role in advancing projects that together will generate approximately $2 billion of investment within our county. Chautauqua County business investments, key projects include, but are not limited to, $41.4 million in the Maple Vale Farms relocation and expansion project in the town of Minot, a $19.3 million renovation of the C.E. Welch building in the village of Westfield for market rate housing, and an investment of $2.5 million at the Tri-County Country Club for reconstruction and expansion following a devastating fire. In 2025, the Choose CHQ and Live CHQ marketing initiatives gained strong momentum, attracting over 110,000 website visitors, 90% of which were outside Chautauqua County. The campaign expanded nationally through the distribution of Viewpoint with Dennis Quaid. This is a public television segment that was shared with over 127 television stations across the country and has become a valuable recruitment tool for local employers. In 2026, we will continue to actively promote Chautauqua County as a great place to live, work, and invest. In order to ensure that our communities have the energy to power a 21st century economy, Chautauqua County has worked with the City of Dunkirk to undertake Phase 2 of the NRG Reuse Initiative. We've also worked with the city to respond to a New York State Power Authority RFI proposal regarding community interest in hosting a nuclear energy project. And we will continue to push NRG to take action toward repurposing the facility and bringing it back into productive use. What we are doing is working. According to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, over the most recent 5-year period, Chautauqua County's GDP grew by an impressive 29%, making Chautauqua County the 9th fastest growing county economy in the state of New York. Household prosperity is rising as well. Our median household income has increased from $46,000 in 2019 to an astounding $58,351 in 2024, a 25% gain. In the most recent year recorded, we ranked 8th best as the 8th best county in the state for year-over-year per capita income growth. We're also seeing steady social progress, with countywide poverty rates falling from 19.4% in 2014 to 17.4% in 2024. Now, let's make no mistake, there's still work to be done, but the trajectory is clear. By continuing to collaborate with partners across the county and investing in our strengths, we will continue to attract new businesses, new jobs, new housing, and new workers for Chautauqua County. We are seeing our efforts pay off. The key metrics used to measure the health of our economy are moving in a positive direction. Across New York State and here in Chautauqua County, the need for housing that is safe, modern, and affordable has never been greater. That is why I have made it a priority to work closely with developers and community partners to expand our local housing inventory. Over the past year, Chautauqua County has made meaningful progress. Construction has begun in Silver Creek on a 54-unit affordable housing project for seniors. In Jamestown, the Gateway Lofts project will bring an additional 110 new units. In Dunkirk, the bank building on Central Avenue is reopened with new housing opportunities. And Chautauqua County has also secured $1 million in infrastructure funding for the 78-unit homesteads at Dunkirk Landing and the former C.E. Welch building in Westfield. Together, when completed, these projects will create more than 400 housing units across Chautauqua County. This is more than progress. It's a commitment to ensure that every resident has a place they can call home. Chautauqua County has continued to focus on growing our tourism industry. We are looking to expand our new tourism trolleys with CHQ Transit, and we continue to push for commercial air service at our Jamestown Airport. We have, in fact, submitted an essential air service application to the FAA and the Department of Transportation. We have secured grant funding for upgrades at the Jamestown Airport Terminal and brought in a new fabulous restaurant, Archie's, that provides great food and even better views. In 2025, we allocated 3% occupancy tax funds to key projects in Chautauqua County, including the Fredonia Farm Festival, Rock the Lake, the Westfield Grape and Wine Festival, the Chautauqua County History Expo, and the Silver Creek Festival of Grapes. We've also invested in vital initiatives like the Chautauqua Lake Symposium that brings together scientists and stakeholders to present updated research and management plans for Chautauqua Lake. In 2025, the Chautauqua Lake Watershed and Management Alliance took major steps to strengthen coordination and leadership across the lake community. Our new restructuring brings every lakeside municipality to the table, and they, alongside key in-lake and watershed partners, look to further the advancement of treatments for Chautauqua Lake. Further elevated efforts with the Alliance, we've engaged A.J. Reyes, a GEI Consulting as our lake management consultant. AJ and the GEI team bring a proven track record of successful inland lake research and management across numerous projects. That experience and the strategies they've used to transform other lakes will now be applied right here in Chautauqua County to support the long-term health and vitality of Chautauqua Lake. The level of cooperation and collaboration among our stakeholders in recent months has been truly encouraging. Our lake partners will implement an adaptive management strategy in 2026. Through this new approach, we can target priority areas more effectively, maximize permitted treatments, and ensure that the lake remains accessible and usable throughout the entire season. In addition, we have seen important progress at the state level. To adapt to changing weather and growing conditions, the New York State DEC has expanded permitting treatment areas and extended application windows. Additionally, herbicide use has now been approved to protect and sustain vital navigation and commercial corridors. This decisive step will open and maintain critical access routes from Greenhurst to Celeron, from the Lakewood boat launch to the main channel, and extending to area marinas. Targeting approximately 115 acres of the most heavily impacted, hard-to-manage zones in the southern basin. At the same time, our partners are currently increasing efficiencies in operations. By adding additional offloading sites and securing more vehicles for transportation, this will dramatically increase the speed, capacity, and efficiency of our mechanical harvesting efforts. These combined efforts represent an important milestone towards restoring lake health and securing Chautauqua Lake's continued beauty. Chautauqua County is committed to improving community public safety. In 2025, CCEMS responded to over 8,223 EMS calls. In our 2026 budget, Chautauqua County budgeted and was funded to secure and expand the Chautauqua County Fly Car Ambulance Service. This new ambulance service will serve the southwestern region of Chautauqua County, in particular the communities of Clymer and Sherman, and will help ensure that residents in these areas have access to timely, life-saving emergency medical care. Public safety and our Sheriff's Department works tirelessly to keep our communities safe. In 2025, the Sheriff's Department implemented the Chautauqua Cares program, featuring 5 key initiatives that support both prevention and rehabilitation. The Reentry Hub provides walk-in support for individuals leaving county corrections facilities, offering referrals in up to 90 days of peer support, with referrals increasing significantly in 2025. The Ignite program delivers weekly vocational training and educational opportunities, including GED preparation and job certifications for incarcerated individuals, preparing them for life outside of the correctional setting. The newly created Situation Table brings together community agencies to intervene in high-risk situations before crisis occurs. Since its inception, over 50 high-intensity referrals were evaluated. This alleviates timely emergency room visits and looks to reduce recidivism and engagement time by our county law enforcement agencies. The CARES Treatment Court collaboration connects incarcerated individuals to treatment programs, averaging 7 direct referrals each month. And finally, the CARES Jail MAP program, medically assisted treatment, ensures continued support for individuals with substance use needs, both during incarceration and after their release. Human Services has made strong gains this year as well. Safety Net in 2025 is our most critical lifeline for our community, delivering essential programming even during a prolonged federal government shutdown. Despite disruptions to benefit delivery, our staff worked tirelessly to minimize the impacts on area residents. In 2025, we've hired staff for the Family-Centered Case Management Program and incorporated them into the temporary housing unit. This group has been able to provide necessary supports for homeless families, assisting them in meeting the requirements of the temporary housing program. In total, we have assisted 71 families in their transition to permanent housing. We've also developed a process to refer able-bodied adults without SNAP dependents recipients to work activities. That's a tongue twister. In 2026, we will be working to improve the safety net participation rate to ensure that all non-exempt individuals are participating in work activities. These efforts are being done not only to assist those residents in need, but also to limit the impact on the local share of our tax levy. In 2025, the Chautauqua County Jail Health Team achieved a major milestone by earning national accreditation. They become the only county of comparable size in New York State to receive this distinction. And this accomplishment reflects collaboration with the Sheriff's Department, Department of Mental Hygiene and Social Services, as well as our Department of Health. This collaboration highlights our shared commitment to high-quality medical care for our incarcerated individuals. We've also made meaningful progress in youth prevention. Through opioid settlement funding, we partnered with Prevention Works and local school districts to expand the PACS Good Behavior Game, helping build healthier behaviors. Data supports that early intervention in behavioral health leads to positive outcomes and future success. In 2026, we have made a commitment to expand these services, thus positively impacting youth right here in Chautauqua County. To better serve the high-need population, we've enhanced service coordination by co-locating mental hygiene mobile crisis staff with social services homeless services. This restructuring has improved communication, reduced gaps in care, and increased the efficiency of our response, overall providing better outcomes for those in need. Looking ahead to 2026, we will collaborate with the Office of Mental Health to introduce mental health navigators in our county courts. These navigators will help identify individuals with unmet mental health needs and connect them to the appropriate care of services in a more efficient manner. The Health Department's early intervention in 2025 hosted 46 mobile health clinics, reaching schools and underserved populations in both rural and urban areas. This improves access to vaccine and increases the overall vaccine rates of Chautauqua County. Last year, our health department created a pilot program that expands early intervention services for children with special needs from birth to age 3. This new program was created to provide more physical and occupational therapy services while at the same time reducing waiting lists and creating opportunities to offer extra support to the families. Families join each session's therapeutic activities to learn strategies to help their child's development. And afterwards, children participate in supervised play while families are participating in facilitated support groups. Through a partnership with Cornell Cooperative Extension, families also receive a Cooking with Kids class focused on healthy food preparation and nutrition. These sessions are offered in the North County at the Chautauqua County Children's Gym and in the South County at JCC in collaboration with the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program. The foundation for the establishment of the lead rental registry was created in 2025 with a focus on improving coordination with municipal partners and supporting residents and property owners to ensure and reduce the amount of exposure we have to lead by our community members. The main focus of our lead rental registry is to limit exposure to our youngest and most vulnerable residents. This program is intended to reduce lead exposure to young children right here in Chautauqua County. The Office for Aging Services is implementing a spinoff of GoGo Grandparents, a senior-based ride services program much like Lyft or Uber. This new program's sole focus is to provide our senior population transportation to medical appointments covering service gaps we have in our county. In 2026, we are looking into potential properties that could be utilized for transitional housing. This effort would reduce the financial burden that our temporary and emergency housing puts on the local share of our economy, as well as provide better wraparound services to our residents in the temporary assistance program, helping them with the much-needed services and supports they need to be self-sufficient. As shown in the graph, Chautauqua County's 2026 governmental budget totaled $309.7 million. Of that, 23% comes from property taxes, 19% from state aid, 18% from sales tax, 14% from designated revenues, 13% from federal aid, and just 1% from fund balance. So where does that money go? Nearly half, or 49% of it, is invested in human services supporting our most vulnerable residents. Another 22% goes to public facilities and infrastructure, including our water and sewer systems. 19% to public safety, with 9% supporting administrative services and 2% for economic development. This reflects a budget focused on essential services and community well-being. Most importantly, this budget delivers real tax relief for our county residents. Our current tax rate is $6.17 per thousand, down 54 cents from last year. And since I took office, we have reduced the county tax rate by $2.29, our lowest county tax rate since 1982. Currently, our local economy is gaining real momentum. Total assessed property value has climbed to $12.15 billion, up more than 11%. And in the past year, even though many of our towns have not seen a reassessment. In several years, we have seen high-value home sales above $1 million continue to rise. That sends a clear message that people believe in Chautauqua County and are continuing and choosing to invest in our future. Sales tax revenue remains strong, and we continue to project it conservatively to protect our long-term financial stability. We also continue to support our local municipalities by sharing more than $40 million in sales tax revenue. That is over 41% of what we collect countywide, and this helps reduce the pressure on local property taxes and keeps Chautauqua County ranked the second most affordable county to live in all of New York State. Not all counties share their sales tax revenue with the local municipalities, and only a handful contribute a higher percentage than we do. What's more important to understand are the challenges we face. A significant portion of our budget is controlled by New York State mandates. In fact, counties in New York State are required to administer more than 40 state programs, often consuming the majority of our budget, with little local control. For example, in 2025, the increase in just one program, Safety Net, exceeded our entire 2025 tax levy increase, and its costs continue to rise. And in this coming October, the state is requiring counties to cover an additional 25% of SNAP administrative costs, placing yet another burden on local taxpayers. This new mandate will require the county to provide 75% of the administrative cost of SNAP benefits. New York State is one of only 9 states that places this implementation of federal programming on local communities, thus shifting the burden from the state directly to our community. That's why I've taken active roles at the state and national level, serving on the boards of the New York State Association of Counties, the County Executives of America, and the National Association of Counties, advocating for fair funding, greater local control, and relief from unfunded mandates. Because at the end of the day, our job is pretty clear. Deliver the services our residents depend on while protecting taxpayers and fighting for Chautauqua County every step of the way. During my tenure as county executive, I have prioritized making government work smarter and more efficiently for you. To accomplish this, offices have been consolidated, workspaces have been modernized, and employees have been cross-trained, and new technologies have been adopted to our daily use. As a result, taxpayers are receiving faster, more responsive service, and workers are more skilled and adaptable and motivated. It is this kind of government that makes sense in the long run, efficient, accountable, and focused on results. The goal is to keep improving our services, reducing waste, and building a strong, more sustainable future for Chautauqua County. With a commitment to improving efficiency and effectiveness in government, last year I announced a new strategy aimed at supporting municipal mergers, consolidation, and shared services that will help reduce duplicate services and save taxpayer dollars. We took action in 2025. As a result of my office's proposal to the county legislature, Chautauqua County's Government Reduction Initiative was unanimously approved. While the initial program only supported full dissolutions or mergers, the new GRI now supports shared service agreements and departmental consolidations. Our program also is improved by providing upfront funding, thus removing barriers and helping communities move forward confidently. We've also expanded the eligibility of this program to include special taxing districts. In contrast to what some have claimed, I'm committed to using up to $500,000 of the county's general fund balance for this program. This was created in a similar manner to the county's lake maintenance fund, and exactly as a GRI was allocated funding originally. Our communities will benefit from this program, which launched in January of 2026 and aims to help local governments operate more effectively. It cuts costs and improves services countywide. It is encouraging to see these projects already being proposed through this initiative. Every project represents real chances to save money, improve services, and think differently about local government. First, the towns of Ripley, Clymer, and Mina are expanding a shared multi-municipality dog shelter. This project will ensure compliance with the New York State regulation while reducing costs through collaboration. Second, we are supporting the comprehensive feasibility study for a potential merger of the Clymer, Sherman, and Panama Central school districts. With rising costs and declining enrollment, this study will evaluate opportunities to expand educational offerings while reducing long-term expenses. School taxes represent the largest burden for our residents, and exploring smart, proactive solutions like shared services and consolidations have potential to deliver real, meaningful relief. And third, the towns of Pomfret, Dunkirk, along with the city of Dunkirk and the village of Fredonia, are taking an important first step by analyzing shared services and potential consolidation. This includes reviewing highways and public works, dog control, courts, and code enforcement. Just as importantly, these discussions have opened the door to exploring the possibility of a full municipal consolidation. An effort, if pursued, could unlock significant state funding and create long-term financial stability for northern Chautauqua County. And contrary to what some of you may have heard, these efforts are locally driven, which means they're more impactful. The county is not mandating any of these initiatives. Rather, they are all voluntary and led and supported by our municipal partners. This is done with the efforts to reduce duplicate services and provide and advance their projects to what is best for their communities. The best progress happens when communities come together, think creatively, and take action by ignoring partisan politics and working together for the betterment of their communities. This initiative is not about the next budget cycle or the next election. It's about shaping the next generation of Chautauqua County. Through these efforts, Chautauqua County will not only achieve real results, but also inspire others to follow our lead in building a more efficient and sustainable future. As we look ahead, the path forward is clear, but it will require leadership, courage, and a willingness to stand out for what is right for Chautauqua County. We have proven that progress is possible. We have cut taxes to the lowest rate since 1982. We have grown our economy, as we are currently ranked 9th in the fastest growing county economy in the state of New York. And we've invested in our communities, where we currently rank 2nd in the most affordable county to live in the state and 8th in year-over-year per capita income growth. And we've done all of this while standing firm against rising costs, unfunded mandates, and challenges far beyond our control. But let me be clear, our work is not done. We must continue to focus on creating sustainable job opportunities to ensure long-term economic growth. Additionally, investing in education and infrastructure will be critical to supporting our community's development. We will continue to fight for our taxpayers, and we will continue to build a county that is not just promised, but delivered. Transparency in government is essential to maintaining the trust of our residents and ensuring accountability. By openly sharing information and engaging with the community, we create a collaborative environment where residents feel heard and valued. This commitment to transparency will help us build a community that truly reflects the needs and aspirations of its residents. They feel and deserve safe communities, good-paying jobs, and a future for their children that can believe in. And that is exactly what we are building together. So let's seize the opportunity. Rather than slowing down, we need to push forward. Leaders don't settle, they lead, and we are taking bold actions that will reshape our economy. For our residents, these actions will lay a strong foundation for future generations by ensuring that those youngsters inherit a community that values safety, education, and prosperity. By prioritizing sustainable development and environmental conservation, we are protecting resources that will be vital for their well-being. Moreover, creating transparency and accountability in government will instill trust and civic engagement, empowering future residents to build on our success. There is a great deal to be proud of in this county, and that pride lies in our people and their commitment to unity and progress. ensuring a strong foundation for future success by leading with purpose and conviction. We will overcome challenges and seize opportunities that will benefit generations to come. It is our county, it is our future. I'd like to thank you all for attending today. I'd like to thank Danny and the CHQ Chamber, as well as DoubleTree for hosting this event. Thank you, and have a great afternoon. Good evening.
Okay, then back to our agenda. We have tonight 3 public hearings. So I will open the first public hearing, which is a public hearing regarding a supplemental agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to construct, operate, and maintain navigational aids at the Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport. Is there anyone wishing to address the first public hearing? Anyone for the first public hearing? Seeing no one, I will close the first public hearing. And I will now open the second public hearing, which is a public hearing regarding the 2026 Agricultural District inclusions. Lauren, please.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Sharp. I'm a senior planner with the county's Department of Planning and Development. I help facilitate the Chautauqua County Agricultural District program. The Chautauqua County Legislature is responsible for the Chautauqua County Ag Districts number 1, 7, 8, and 10. In accordance with New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets, the yearly inclusion period was held from January 2nd to January 31st. Landowners submitted requests for land to be added to the Ag District during the month of January. The Chautauqua County Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board reviewed the requests and recommended for the 4 requested parcels to be added to the existing Ag Districts. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the public hearing regarding the 2026 Agricultural District inclusions? Anyone else for the public hearing? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing, and I will now open the third public hearing, which is a second public hearing for the Chautauqua County Micro Enterprise Assistance Program Community Development Block Grant. Stephanie, please.
Nick, and I am the Special Projects Coordinator for the Chautauqua County Department of Planning and Development. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of the Community Development Block Grant Program. We are required to complete a list of people attending the hearing, so we ask all members of the public to please sign the attendance sheet. Chautauqua County was awarded $200,000 in funding by the New York State Office of Community Renewal through the Community Development Block Grant Program to implement a microenterprise assistance program that provided entrepreneurial training and grants to eligible microenterprise businesses in Chautauqua County, but outside of the entitlement communities of the City of Jamestown and the City of Dunkirk. Municipalities awarded CDBG funding are required to hold a second public hearing during the implementation phase of the program. The hearing is for the purpose of 1, providing a general update on the status of the program, and 2, soliciting public comment. Chautauqua County was awarded a $200,000 grant from OCR. $170,000 of the grant was available to provide grants to microenterprise businesses, and the rest of the funds were used to pay administrative and program delivery costs. The program is being implemented by Chautauqua Opportunities for Development, and the full $170,000 has been awarded to the last 4 microenterprises who are now awaiting disbursement. Grants have been awarded to 8 total microenterprise businesses throughout the county. Awards ranged in size from $11,000 to $25,000 and were used for furnishings, fixtures, and equipment, inventory, and other working capital expenses. 2 full-time equivalent employment positions have been created through the first 4 awards. Any person wishing to make comments regarding the program's implementation is now invited to do so.
Is there anyone wishing to address the public hearing? Anyone wishing to address the public hearing? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. And Olivia, over to you.
There are no veto messages from County Executive Wendell from the March 25th, 2026 Legislature meeting. There are 9 communications listed on the agenda. If you would like a copy of these items, please let our office know. Renew and amend Resolution Number 13-26. Authorize supplemental agreement number 1 with NYS DOT for PIN 5764.60.
Legislator Bankowski.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to renew this.
Okay, we have a motion to renew Resolution 13-26 and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion on the motion to renew? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It is renewed. Legislator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to amend the resolution with a copy that has been provided on our desk.
Okay, thank you. And a second by Legislator Vanstrom. So we have a motion and a second to amend Resolution 13-26 to the copy that's been provided. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend? Hearing none, all those in favor of amending, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It is amended. Now for discussion on Resolution 13-26 as amended. Are there any questions or comments on Resolution 13-26 as amended? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 100-26, annual public disclosure of elected officials' salaries.
Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
101-26, confirm appointment, Chautauqua County Emergency Medical Services Council.
Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
102-26, confirm appointment, Chautauqua County Fire Advisory Board.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
103-26, confirm reappointments and appointment, Youth Board.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Legislator Bankowski.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to block 104-26 through 114-26.
And is there a second to the motion? Legislator Gustafson's? Okay, so we have a motion to block resolutions 104-26 through 114-26. Are there any questions or comments on the motion to block? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to block, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are blocked.
104-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliations, North Chautauqua County Water District. 105-26, amend 2025 budget for DPF capital improvements, funded bridge program. 106-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliations, Department of Finance. 107-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliations, Miscellaneous Department. 108-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliations, capital and interfund accounts. 109-26, amend 2026 budget for the Departments of County Clerk and Motor Vehicles. 110-26, amend Board of Elections 2026 budget for equipment purchase. 111-26, amend 2026 budget for the Department of Probation. 112-26, amend 2026 budget for the jail, Office of the Sheriff. 113-26, amend spending plan and 2025 budget for Chautauqua County projects funded by the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA.
Are there any
One-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, one more. 114-26, amend spending plan and 2026 budget for Chautauqua County projects funded by the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA.
Now, are there any questions or comments on the blocked resolutions 104 through 114? Any comments or questions on any of the blocked resolutions? Legislator Scudder.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. When it comes to 10726, just for public information, this amended resolution is to distribute an additional $738,000 to municipalities in Chautauqua County, and that's from sales tax revenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions on any of the blocked resolutions? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolutions 104-26 through 114-26, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are carried.
115-26, transfer American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, spending plan budgets from 2025 to 2026.
Are there any questions, any discussions? Legislator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In just a few years, we will likely won't be discussing resolutions related to the American Rescue Plan Fund or ARPA. However, the lasting impact of this funding across Chautauqua County will remain. ARPA has supported a wide range of investments, programs, equipment, vehicles, training, and more that have strengthened our communities and local government operations. These are tangible benefits that will continue to serve residents well into the future. The county received over $24 million in ARPA funding, so it is appropriate to take a moment and recognize this impact and express our appreciation. Credit should be given where credit is due, and I believe it is fitting that we recognize former President Biden and his administration for making these investments possible in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions, discussion on the resolution? Legislator Johnson.
Just in response, my grandson is very grateful to be lending President Biden and these expenses the funds to do this.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
116-26, authorize amendment to the agreement between the NCLSD and the Town of Chautauqua for sewage treatment services, 19-28-03.
Are there any questions, any comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
117-26, authorize lease of office space between the Chautauqua County DPF and NYS Health Department Bureau of Communicable Diseases.
Any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
118-26, authorize granting of utility easements on airport property.
Are there any comments or any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Mr. Bankowski.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy.
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson.
Yes.
Mr. Harmon.
Yes.
Mr. Heiser.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Larson.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Mr. Pavlik is absent. Mr. Penhallow.
Yes.
Mr. Proctor.
Yes.
Mr. Scudder.
Yes.
Ms. Vanstrom. Mr. Whitney.
Yes.
Chairman Shagnon.
Yes.
All right, there are 18 yes votes and 1 member absent. The resolution is adopted. 119-26, apply for and accept FAA and NYS DOT funds to rehabilitate runway 13-31 at Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport construction.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? One nay vote, Legislator Scudder. It is carried.
120-26, apply for and accept FAA and NYS DOT funds for purchase of SRE equipment at Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport.
Any questions, any comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? One nay vote, Legislator Scudder. It is carried.
121-26, authorize public hearing for agreement between Chautauqua County and Schultz Air Shows, LLC, for Air Boss services for the 2027 Chautauqua County Air Show at Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
122-26, authorize public hearing for ground and taxiway lease with Barron North G58 LLC at Chautauqua County Dunkirk Airport.
Are there any comments or any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
123-26, prospective cancellation of uncollectible tax liens.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
124-26, authorize execution of New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Grant Community Outreach and Risk Reduction Program, COT, FY 2026.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
125-26, authorize standardization of Axon brand camera and software products at the Chautauqua County Office of the Sheriff.
Are there any questions or any comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
126-26, authorize agreement with Chautauqua Cattaraugus Erie 2 BOCES for culinary arts instruction 2026 through 2027.
Any questions or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
127-26, authorizing and approving a settlement agreement in an action relation to the opioid crisis, Associated Pharmacies, Inc., and American Associated Pharmacies, J.M. Smith Corporation, Louisiana Wholesale Drug Company, Inc., Morrison-Dixon Co., North Carolina Mutual Wholesale Drug Company, Inc., and United Natural Foods, Inc., including its subsidiaries, Super Value and Advantage Logistics.
Are there any comments or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
128-26, authorize use of Lake Fund for Cassadaga Lakes Weed Survey.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
129-26, accept state environmental quality review determinations for the New York State Snowmobile Trail Grant and Aid Program for 2026 through 2027 snowmobile season.
Any questions, comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
130-26, accept state environmental quality review of proposed 2026 agricultural district inclusions.
Are there any comments, any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
131-26, determination of Chautauqua County Legislature on proposed 2026 agricultural district inclusions.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
132-26, appropriating funding from the 3% occupancy tax reserve for the National Comedy Center for promotional activities.
Are there any comments, any questions on the resolution? Legislator Vanstrom.
Chairman, colleagues, I strongly support Resolution 13226. The National Comedy Center has provided world-class entertainment not just for our local communities, but it casts a wide net, drawing a large number of visitors to the South County, where visitors utilize lodging, dining, touring around our other local attractions, and bringing in a very large amount of tourism money to our vendors and other retailers alike. So I strongly support the spending of this 3% occupancy tax for this purpose.
Thank you. Other comments? Legislator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also support this. As a representative of the city of Jamestown, I fully support the appropriation of this funding for the Comedy Center. But this investment benefits not only the city, but the county as a whole. I think using the bed tax funds in this way is both appropriate and strategic. It is a worthwhile investment that continues to strengthen tourism and economic activity throughout our county. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislator Nelson.
The other Nelson?
Larson. Sorry. I'm stuck on Nelson tonight. Sorry.
Well, he's a nice fellow. I can appreciate that. County occupancy tax dollars spent on promotional campaigns only makes sense when there is a product worth promoting. There's an old story about a dog food company that spent millions on advertising campaign for their new dog food brand, but the new dog food did not sell. The company's president demanded to know why millions spent on an advertising campaign did not sell the new dog food. The answer was, the dogs don't like it. Everyone likes the National Comedy Center. USA Today this year proclaimed the National Comedy Center Best Pop Culture Museum. Time magazine a few years ago named it one of the world's greatest places. U.S. News and World Report named it one of the 25 top weekend getaways in the U.S. The total investment to create the National Comedy Center was in the neighborhood of $35 million. The Congress of the United States passed a law designating this investment in Lucille Ball's hometown, the National Comedy Center. The challenge facing the National Comedy Center is getting a lot more visitors to come here. In the planning for the National Comedy Center, consultants predicted about 110,000 visitors a year, an average of 2,000 a week. While I have no inside information about the National Comedy Center, apparently about half that number, or about 50,000, visit the National Comedy Center each year. How does the National Comedy Center reach its predicted potential? It appears the only way to achieve something like 110,000 visitors a year will require lots of bus tours with 40 or 50 senior citizens on each bus from places like Pittsburgh and Cleveland, 2 or 3 hours from Jamestown. This $200,000 request is not from county property tax dollars or sales tax dollars. This $200,000 is from occupancy tax dollars. The National Comedy Center's visitors already fill hotel rooms, thereby paying our 5% occupancy tax, as well as our 4% county sales tax on hotel rooms, meals, and souvenirs. Promotion of this Chautauqua County treasure, known as the National Comedy Center, is worth every penny of this $200,000 request. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Legislator Johnson.
Well, following on the dog food story, M&M Mars, we all know that company, and Forrest Mars, one of the owners, had a saying, he says, I know half my advertising works, I'm just not sure which one. So when I saw this, and I saw this was for advertising, I wanted more information and went back and forth. And one of the things we learned in committee was that this $200,000 brings in another $500,000 from the state of New York for a $700,000 expenditures. Well, if you can spend $200,000 and bring in $500,000, I'm all for it. So my reservations on the advertising expense went away. I support this.
Thank you. Legislator DeJoy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also would like to lend my full support for this expenditure of $200,000 from occupancy tax. As somebody that was involved from the very conceptual stage of the National Comedy Center to personally advocating to Governor Andrew Cuomo in my role as Director of Development for the City of Jamestown, the Comedy Center has lived up to its expectations in the presentation of what they provide in terms of an experiential visit to the Comedy Center, and it does attract a great deal of people from outside. I personally, I open my home up to an Airbnb, and that week I have visitors guests from Canada, Pittsburgh, and also from the Cleveland area. So it just seems appropriate that this advertising should continue to attract more visitors into Jamestown and create more opportunities for occupancy tax revenue and greater investment in other projects that could have some positive collateral effects. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Other comments, questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
133-26, closed capital projects 2025 year-end reconciliation.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
134-26, authorizing application to the NYS Office of the State Comptroller in relation to the extension of the Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer District bounds from Midway State Park through Point Chautauqua on the east side of Chautauqua Lake.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
135-26, home rule legislation request to discontinue the use of reforestation lands in the towns of Ellery and Ripley and the designation of lands for parks use in the town of Arkwright.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Legislator Johnson.
Yes, sir. I would like to propose a small clarifying amendment. I got a call earlier today from a very sharp-eyed constituent from Ripley, and he was concerned about the 60-acre parcel mentioned in the resolution. At the end of the resolution, it is resolved that Chautauqua County Legislature will find and determine the above-described reforestation lands of Ellery and Ripley. What we all thought it says, it refers to two small parcels in Ripley, and so I would like to add a little bit in here to make sure that is what it says as well as what it means. And that would be in that 1, 2, 3 resolves up right after towns of Ellery and, so it would say towns of Ellery and specifically the .321 and the .413 acre parcels in Ripley. And that will clarify that the above described only deals with the immediately above described and not the whole thing. The fear of my constituent was that dragging the 60-acre parcel in would have something to do with that big solar project up there. And I wanted to make it clear it didn't.
Okay, thank you. So you're making a motion to amend the resolution?
Yes, sir.
As you indicated?
Yes, sir.
And is there a second? Legislator Gustafson seconds. Discussion on the motion to amend. Legislator Scudder.
Yeah, before I discuss this, I'm going to vote for this resolution, whether it's amended or it's not amended. But speaking to the author of the resolution, the 6th whereas, if I may, if I can read it.
Please.
When I can read, it's that I don't have my readers on, so if anybody's concerned there. Whereas Chautauqua County wishes, here we go. Whereas Chautauqua County wishes to discontinue and sell the 40-acre reforestation parcel in the town of Ellery and .321 acres and .413 acre parcels being part of the reforestation lands in the town of Ripley. So I think it does clearly state that it's only talking those two sections out of those bigger parcels in Ripley.
So,
So I'm discussing that I will not vote for this to be amended, but I'm going to vote for it whether it gets amended or not, because it's a necessary resolution.
okay. So just to clarify, your opinion is that the amendment is not
That
necessary?
is correct.
Okay. You're not opposed to the amendment, you just don't believe it's necessary?
I'm just making a comment.
Got it. Okay.
And certainly, I think that was the intent of what was written here. But when, and we discussed this, when it says above described, the above described covers the whereas the legislator just mentioned, and way back at the first paragraph, the 60 acres. We want to make sure the 60 acres are out of there.
Right. So that's the intent of the amendment
Amendment is
proposal.
to just be clear.
Okay, Legislator Scudder again.
And that whereas is located where it says the above. If you look on your paper, that is above. Again,
All right.
I'm willing to go either way, but I think it's already stated in here. Thank you.
Okay, Legislator Bankowski.
Would be better if we just send this back for review.
It's pretty simple.
It's a simple amendment. If you would like to make another proposal?
I'm just saying if we need to discuss this some more
Yeah.
to review, I'm asking our attorney if that would be better.
Not necessarily, but I think we should just have, for the record, just if Legislator Johnson could repeat the exact language that's being
Right.
proposed to be added.
Thank you, and then you can see if I've done this right. So right after the two words Ellery and, that followed from the line that begins above described, follow where I am?
This is in the first resolved
First
clause?
resolved. So it says above
Towns.
described reforestation lands in the towns of Ellery
Okay.
and then now insert specifically the .321 and .413 acre parcels in Ripley. And that focuses this above described right where Legislator Scudder wants it, which is two whereases above and not way back at the beginning of the thing.
So your opinion for Legislator Bankowski?
Right.
I don't see an issue with amending it. It's perhaps more of a clarification, but
Yes.
yeah, if that's what the body wants to do,
I'll second it if it hasn't been seconded.
It has been seconded, yes, thank you. Okay, other questions, comments on the motion to amend? Hearing none, all those in favor of amending Resolution 13526, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
We have two nays, Legislator Scudder, Legislator Bankowski. Now, that resolution is amended, and further discussion on the on the resolution 13526 as amended. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony? Yes. Mr. Bankowski?
No.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy?
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson? Yes. Mr. Harmon?
Yes.
Mr. Heiser?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Larson?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis? Mr. Merritt? Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Pavlak is absent. Mr. Penhallow?
Yes.
Mr. Proctor?
Yes.
Mr. Scudder?
As previously stated, yes.
Ms. Vanstrom?
Yes.
Mr. Whitney?
Yes.
Chairman Shagnon?
Yes.
Okay, there are 17 yes votes, 1 no vote, and 1 member absent. The resolution is adopted. (136-26) Government Reduction Initiative Assistance for Town of Ripley for Development of Multi-Municipality Dog Shelter Facility.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Legislator Nelson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am voting against this resolution, not because I believe the government reduction initiative is a bad idea. In fact, I think it has merit. And to be clear, my opposition has nothing to do with the purpose of supporting a dog shelter. My concern is with the amount being proposed. Funding roughly 80% or $67,000 places too large a burden on the county, and I believe a more balanced approach could have been reached, one that still supports a dog shelter, serving Clymer, Ripley, and Mina, while distributing the cost more equitably. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Legislator Whitney?
Every one of us has to go back to our constituents and explain why we voted as we did. It's tough selling a bridge out in Sherman, but they understand its infrastructure, or a new roof at a building here in Mayville, they understand its infrastructure. But people in Jamestown, they look and want to know why I spent money out in Ripley. Well, then I said, well, we have a dog shelter too. So I called the Chautauqua County Humane Society and talked to the director. And Chautauqua County is just a name brand. We don't give them any money at all. I don't understand. They find a way to fund themselves, and they're a dog shelter also. And we have many homeless people that could spend the money on. We have people that don't have food we could spend the money on. And to end this, even a homeless person buys something that generates sales tax. I've never seen a dog generate any sales tax to give money back. So I will be voting against this.
Thank you. Other comments? Legislator Vanstrom?
Being the daughter of a retired veterinarian, I am going to support this. Animals need help. A lot of times they're abandoned animals or animals that get loose. And a lot of fur babies play a big role in American households, Chautauqua County households, town of Ellicott households. So I'm not going to ever compare homeless people to our fur babies and pets in our homes. And believe me, if you do own a pet, you spend a lot of money taking care of them, housing them, caring for them. And I'm not going to compare pets to people. Pets can't have a job unless you enslave them. I don't even know where we're going with this one. But able-bodied people should try their best to do their best in any community. So I'm not going to go with that analogy, and I am going to support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments on the resolution? Legislator Scudder?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to vote in favor of this. I think this government reduction initiative is a fantastic idea. We have $500,000 in there. And if we spend the $500,000, I hope we can add another $500,000 so that municipalities can step up and participate and hopefully save some money in the long term. So I'll be supporting this. Thank you.
Other comments? Legislator Larson?
My main concern with this resolution is that we do not have 500,000 in there. The county executive, in announcing this government reduction initiative last fall during his re-election campaign, did not put a dollar in the 26 county budget for this purpose. We've already spent $150,000 on 2 applications. It came out of the county slush fund, otherwise called unappropriated fund balance or unallocated fund balance. So there is no money in there. Every one of these grants is coming out of the roughly $35 million slush fund. Now, by my by the way, in running 3 times in 3 years, since the state of New York changed our terms to this year, even year, running 3 times in 3 years, I can tell you in my district, in Jamestown, there are 2 things that my constituents love: the Buffalo Bills and dogs. And I joined with my constituents. I love dogs. As a city court judge, I sometimes came home and said, the longer I'm a city court judge, the more I love my dog. The problem with this resolution is the problem with this alleged program. The program is a public relations announcement. There is no money behind it, not a dollar. Now, my understanding is that we still have 27 towns in this county. This application is on behalf of 3 of them. At the committee level that I was on, I started by congratulating the Ripley Town Supervisor for asking for $67,000. That if I were elected as a councilman or supervisor in Ripley, I hope I would have been there asking for as much money as the county would give me. I did ask a question, because it's not in the resolution. What's the total amount of the project? $82,000 cash. 67 from the county, 5,000 from each of these 3 towns. Then it was presented to the committee that the state of New York has new requirements for dog control officers when they pick up a dog from unhappy circumstances or whatever. There are new requirements by state law for the temporary placement of these dogs to have an appropriate place with heating and air conditioning. And the town folks said that they could put this together for $82,000. Of course, it's a great idea that they're not doing it on their own. They're sharing with 2 other small towns. $67,000 going to 3 of our 27 towns. That means there could be 8 other groupings of 3 towns. And that could be 8 times $67,000 more. That would eat up more than the alleged $500,000 program. I find it interesting, Mr. Chairman, that one of your members is suggesting publicly tonight that if there were applications this year that sounded good, that totaled $1 million, we ought to just go ahead and fund those out of the slush fund, the unappropriated fund balance. At the committee, sometimes I've been asked, why don't I submit things to a committee? I had an illustration for you of why not. At the committee, after asking the questions that elicited that the total project was only $82,000, and we the county taxpayers from Silver Creek to Faulkner to Sauron to Jamestown to Lakewood, Busti, we would be paying over 80% of this project that they said they'd have to do whether we gave them any money or not, by the way. I didn't say that we shouldn't give them any money. I suggested that a lot of grant programs require matching funds, 50-50. I suggested an amendment that we go ahead and give them $41,000 of county taxpayer dollars toward an $82,000 project. I didn't get a second in that committee to even discuss the concept. So what's the point of my submitting something to a committee? Now, if there's 1 out of 12 Republicans tonight that would move to amend this resolution to $41,000 of your constituents' money going to the effort by these 3 towns, I would vote for that amendment. I'd vote for $41,000 out of the hypothetical $500,000 program for the year. But I'm not going to vote for $67,000 for this rather small project that the towns have an obligation to do and will do, whether we give them $41,000, $67,000, or nothing. I won't make the motion because it won't get a second, but if a Republican member wanted to make this a matching grant program for Ripley, Clymer, Mina, I would be happy to second that or just vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments on the resolution? Legislator Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know that the New York State Division of Local Government Services, through the grant program, the planning grants require a 50% cash match. The implementation grants require a 10% cash match, which this is shovel-ready. They aren't planning anything, they are going to build. So it does fall in the guidelines of what New York State basically says they should match. They did apply for a grant through New York State Ag and Markets, and they were required to do a architectural plan and engineering plan, which would have cost so much more because those things aren't cheap. I will support this. Any town in this county can apply for any one of these grants. These 3 towns, one of which I represent, chose to apply for it. Doesn't mean others can't. As I understand it, we don't have anything else in the pipeline for the GRI committee to consider at this point. Doesn't mean it won't happen. But I will be supporting it because this program was mandated by New York State after the town budgets were submitted, and finding extra cash at this point in time for those towns, for any town, is very difficult. So, especially when they're faced with escalating health insurance costs, which are stretching their budgets to begin with already. So, I will be voting for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments on the resolution? Legislator Scudder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If we gave every town in the county $75,000, that would add up to $2,025,000. Whether it's real money or, I guess, not real money, as long as there was qualifications for the ask, I would be willing to give every town the $75,000. We hear about this slush fund, and all I think about is in the winter. I've talked to Tim Card, the less slush, the better. And that's what we've heard in here, that we don't want as much slush. And I find it very unfortunate when we have like teams in here, like Mr. Chairman, one of your team. I see everybody here as a legislator. I don't see anybody here as a Democrat or a Republican. And to me, I think we can get a whole lot more done by just acting as a body and not being divided by the letter after our names. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Legislator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, I have 2 questions for you as the chair of the whole body. This thing that's been called Government Reduction Initiative so far, there have been 3 requests, apparently only 3 so far. There have been 3 requests, and we're on the verge of approving all of them. Is the criteria for this program first come, first served? The next question is, to you as chairman, is it your understanding, as well as intent as our leader of this body, that what was billed as a $500,000 initiative for 2026, when the $500,000 is gone, that's the completion of the intention of this program for our 2026 budget? Thank you.
You're asking for my interpretation?
Yes.
As far as the what happens to this program after the $500,000 may be expended, that was never discussed in my presence. And so I don't have an opinion about what would happen at that point. So I was the one who was very staunch, in my opinion, that the $500,000, every piece of that needed to be allocated by the legislature. That we weren't going to allocate it in the budget to some projects that we couldn't define. So the reason that the $500,000 was not in the budget was because we didn't have $500,000 worth of projects to define in the budget. I was staunch on that, and we were successful in that not being included in the budget, and with the understanding that any projects that were seeking funding would have to be approved by this legislature. That's my perspective that I would share with you on the question, unless I misunderstood the question. Okay. Any other questions on the resolution? Legislator Bankowski.
Well, my little point of interest on this thing, and I'm going to support this. This whole dog thing it's been a pretty hot button topic in the city of Dunkirk, as I'm sure my cohort, Mr. Buchanan, can speak also with me. And our opinion is we just thought that was a little bit more far of a reach. I understand the explanation that my colleague, Mr. Proctor, explained. I understand that. But one thing that I just want to be clear that, you know, as this program moves in forward in Mina, Clymer, and Ripley, that in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, that they're not coming back here asking for funds to help run their program. This is a one-shot deal. They're getting the money to build their facility, and that this is where it ends. Not coming back to ask for help to buy dog food or pay to have somebody come and clean or pay the electric bill, the water bill. This is it.
Thank you. Legislator Anthony.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with Mr. Bankowski. This is an issue, and I did ask them in committee that we would not come back and discuss operating costs. That's up to them at that point. But going to my town board meetings, this has been a struggle for 2 years at the absolute minimum, I would say. You know, I know the town of Poland is taking dogs to a dog kennel in Gary, which is costing them $35 to $45 a day, and I believe the state law says they have to hold them for 5 days before the Humane Society will consider taking them. So I guess I look at that a little bit as skin in the game, if you will, on top of their $5,000, you know, from each municipality, because it is a huge cost and a burden to these small towns' budgets that weren't necessarily planning to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month to board a dog that's not their dog, and, you know, pick up that liability. So I am in favor of this. I was told the supervisor of Ripley at the committee meeting that I'm happy to see this finally come. She did say she was open to other municipalities joining in on them. At this time, it was just 3 of them that were in agreement. So I was happy to know that if there's other issues in the North County, that there is a possibility for more towns to come on. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislator Johnson.
So just 2 points. I'll be voting for this. My eponymous friend from Jamestown, though, does bring up a good broader point, much broader than this, and that is, in my words, what is the difference when we talk about the fund balance between a rainy day fund or an investment fund and a slush fund? If the $35 million gets dipped into hither and yon to cover a budget gap, which we did this past budget gap to the tune of $3 or $4 million, or to do an unfunded, unbudgeted $500,000, it starts to look like a slush fund. If we're covering rainy days, unexpected surprises, or really key investments that we want to take, then that's an appropriate use of the fund balance. So I'll leave that for a future discussion, but I support this project in specifics. I'll put it down to an investment that the towns needed help making because the state came down on them.
Thank you. Other comments on the resolution? Legislator Merritt.
So there was discussion of whether or not this would or would not impact their daily services. When this was brought up in committee, I did ask the question, and they felt that between the 3 townships getting together, that they were actually going to be able to consolidate some of their staffing, which in turn would save them costs, which would obviously go through, to help with their operational things. Again, more than likely, keeping it from becoming something that they're going to come back to the legislature again and hit us up year after year for operational costs, because they're looking at being self-sustained. So, just the point.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions on the resolution? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Mr. Binkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy.
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson. Mr. Harmon. Mr. Heiser.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Larson.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
No.
Mr. Pavlak is absent. Mr. Penhollow.
Yes.
Mr. Proctor.
Yeah.
Mr. Scudder.
Yeah.
Ms. Vanstrom.
Yes.
Mr. Whitney.
No.
Chairman Shagnon.
Yes.
Okay. There are 16 yes votes, 2 no votes, and 1 member absent. The resolution is adopted.
Okay, that brings us to announcements. Are there any announcements for the good of the body? Legislator Heiser.
Yes, I have an announcement. Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman. As was delivered to all of us in our legislative emails, I believe, and also one of the communications, just letting everybody know the public is invited Friday, May 5th, the evening, and all day Saturday, or any combination thereof, of May 16th, to the Clymer Tulip Festival. The fireworks the evening of the Friday the 15th, and then games, vendors, parades, all that type of thing going on the 16th. So it's always a good time, looking forward to it, and anybody here or the public is invited to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Other announcements? No more announcements. Okay. That brings us to our second privilege of the floor. Members of the public may comment on any subject. A member of the legislature may speak on any subject. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes, and comments representing a group shall be limited to 5 minutes. I see we have someone ready to address the second privilege of the floor. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Hart. I relocated to Ripley last summer, thinking I was going to be a full-time caregiver to my octogenarian parents. I've since been firmly assured that not only are they not old, they have no plans to ever get old and or need a caregiver. So I find myself with some unexpected capacity. I've spent the last several years earning my Master of Public Administration with the help of the Veterans Readiness and Employment Program. My background ranges from working with every branch of the military in secure, windowless facilities to many years with the Girl Scouts while raising a couple of kids along the way. Most recently, a part-time stint with Starbucks so I can even make an overpriced latte. What I really love to do is find creative ways to support people, solve problems, and build community. I'd like to know if there are any opportunities to contribute to current or upcoming projects, particularly on the western edge of our county. I've been following the conversations around the shovel-ready development on Shortman Road, and that is important to my local community's future. If there are areas where someone with my background could be useful, whether in planning, community engagement, or project support, I would welcome the opportunity to contribute. Thank you for your time, and I will leave contact information with the clerk.
Thank you. And you indicated you would leave with the clerk your what?
My contact information.
Okay. Do you have a resume that you could leave with us as well?
I didn't bring one, but
Well,
I
if you
could forward it, sure.
That would be excellent. Thank you. Thank you for your interest. Is there anyone else wishing to address the second privilege of the floor? Anyone else for the second privilege? Seeing no one, I'm looking for a motion. The motion to adjourn by Legislator Larson, second by Legislator Benkoski. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.